Okay, now that we've got the sculpting tools behind us for now, we're going to move on to some more of these brushes, and in this video Lee will be implementing the soft edge brush.
Right, this is going to be another procedural brush as opposed to the stencil brush, which we have yet to implement. So yeah, let's get over there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alright, so let's bring up our hard edge brush. Let's bring up our soft edge brush. Many of you are going, oh boy, I know where this is going. We don't need the smoothing sculpt tool, and we don't need the raising sculpt tool anymore. All of our tools, for the moment, are done. Though I do have some ideas for some additional tools that might happen later. We'll see. Alright, so back over to our hard edge brush. I'm going to take the code, copy it, go to our soft edge brush, and paste it, though we're not quite done. Now, with our soft edge brush, I want to turn that to a float. We are going to look for our magnitude and check that we're less than or equal to our brush size, or half of our brush size like we did before. But with our sample, we're going to do this slightly different. Instead of toggling between 1 and 0, we're going to look at a ratio. So we're going to take our sample point, we're going to grab its magnitude, and we're going to divide that by our brush size divided by 2f again. So what this is going to do is we're going to look at our overall magnitude, and we're going to see how far away we are from our brush size. So if we are at the edge, so if our magnitude is equal to half of our brush size, we're going to return a 1. 1 minus 1 equals 0. Anytime our magnitude is less than our brush, the number for our sample is going to get larger and larger and larger until the point where our sample magnitude is 0, at which we're going to return 1. We're going to take the whole thing and we're going to multiply it by opacity. Now this is considered a linear fall off. It's going to go directly from 1 to 0 in a linear fashion based off of distance. This is going to work for our case here. But I'm going to throw a challenge out there for those people who like the challenges. I know there's a couple out there that enjoy them. Try implementing different types of fall off. Set up this brush so we've got maybe a cubic and a quadratic fall off. So, or an exponential, some different types of fall-offs that you could experiment with that would change the rate at which we're falling off from the center to the edge. So that's your challenge for this brush. So let's see who comes up with that one first. Who do you think it'll be?
It could be Tim.
Think so?
He's been pretty dedicated with this. I've been impressed.
Well, he's managed to win both of the challenges. I did tell you he came back in with the other challenge too, right?
Which one?
Well, after he won the challenge with the noise, I issued the other challenge about going back and implementing the staggered creation of the patches when you're scrolling, and he was the first one to come back with that one as well.
Oh, outstanding.
So,
very cool.
Let's see if he can go for the hat trick.
All right, so you want to switch over and test this out?
I'll let you do it.
Alrighty. So let's go ahead and put this guy up here. Alright, so this time instead of hitting, well actually let me go ahead and hit 2. So there's our hard edge. Now let me hit 1. There's our soft. So definitely a difference between the two.
Yep. So now we've got those working.
So again, now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to level this area out. And almost.
And you can kind of demonstrate that with the soft edge versus the hard edge on your level. If Because if you look along the edges where he's leveling the terrain,
Mm-hmm.
there's more of a slope as opposed to
Just a hard edge.
Yep.
Let me go ahead and just a little bit more here. And let it recalculate all that. There we go. Now it's going to increase my size and switch over to a hard brush. Click. And then come right over here. Switch over to a soft brush. Click. And there we go. Yeah, a very linear fall off, as Lee was talking about. But nothing that the good old smooth bloop can't come in and fix. Bloop. Hang on.
Yep, and then you could take it even smaller and go around the base of it and smooth it out individually.
Are you talking about, you want me to go around here?
Yep, with a smaller brush, yeah.
Bloop, bloop. We get a little bit larger. There we go. There you go.
And then you could even do something like that. That gets into some more advanced stuff. We'll actually need a GUI to implement that, because now you're talking about the possibility of making a curve editor that lets you specify the curve of the fall off.
That would be some fun stuff. And here we go. Giving a nice smoothed out edge there.
So it just goes to show that just a few tools you can get a lot of results out of.
Oh, absolutely. And oops, missed the back. There we go. And now we just smooth it all. All right, very nice. Outstanding. So now we have both a hard and soft edge brush. So that's going to bring the noise brush up next. And this is where we're finally going to be able to utilize some of the noise stuff you built in a previous R&D session, right?
Right, and it's not going to be incredibly flexible yet because, again, we don't have a GUI to mess with, and I didn't want to have, 30 different hotkeys for the sculpting system.
Right.
So we're going to hard code in some settings for the noise, so that the noise that we get is going to be pretty much fixed, but it will be procedurally generated.
Awesome.
So, and it'll be the halfway between doing a regular procedural brush and a stencil style brush.
Yeah, but we'll come back and visit UI stuff, because obviously right now, being locked in with a strength and an opacity, it would be very nice to be able to start messing around with those settings and getting some finer control as we're in there.
Right, and the possibility of, a curve editor for controlling the fall off of the soft brush.
Ooh,
or
yeah.
actually, at that point, I'd probably create a new brush altogether and call it the curve brush.
Awesome.
So it would have a curve to it, and then we'd have the noise brush would have its own settings that you could go through and adjust. So you can define the noise that you want. So it would have kind of like its own little preview window with the noise that we had before. So as you're adjusting all the sliders, you see the noise that you're going to get on your brush.
Oh, Lee, stop teasing me. Sounds awesome. Okay, well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up the implementation of the soft edge brush. Thanks a lot.